Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing you a long-form deep dive about Mahessine and Cenk. All the details are right here in this video. If you enjoy thoughtful breakdowns instead of empty gossip, please hit the like button, subscribe, and consider joining the channel to support more reporting like this. Thank you, and let's begin. There are relationship announcements that explode like fireworks, and there are those that arrive like a single, steady candle in a dark room. The message from Cenk belonged to the second type. No dramatic montage, no press tour, no list of grievances. Just one clear, unadorned sentence that moved the conversation out of rumor and into reality. Yes, I am getting divorced because I am no longer happy in my marriage. In an industry that often rewards spectacle, that restraint was startling. It was also a signal, to fans, to colleagues, and to the tabloid mills, that this story would be told on his terms, at his pace, and without turning a private threshold into a public trial. Before we analyze the aftermath, it's worth remembering how we got here. For years, Mahessine and Cenk were held up as a model of professional synchronicity. On set, their timing was precise, their emotional beats balanced, and their scenes carried the quiet electricity that only arrives when two performers trust each other's instincts. Between projects, they kept promotion focused on the work rather than the domestic. It was a boundary that served them well. The less you reveal, the less there is to distort. That's why the sudden clarity of Cenk's line, "no longer happy," echoed so loudly. It cut through months of speculation with a few honest words. Honesty, of course, is not the same as overexposure. Notice what Cenk did not do. He didn't name villains, distribute blame, or hint at secret transgressions. He didn't try to recruit the public to his side with a catalogue of hurts. He simply marked the end of a season. In a culture that too often confuses rawness with recklessness, that choice matters. It invites empathy without demanding it. It keeps the door closed on narratives manufactured for clicks. And it allows the other person in the story, Mahessine, to keep her agency intact. Which brings us to Mahessine. Those who have followed her career know her rulebook well: protect the craft, protect the circle, and decline to turn your heart into content. She has always favored a minimal, work-first presence. When she appears in interviews, she directs the attention back to scripts, crews, and process. When she shares on social media, she does so sparingly. In the wake of Cenk's admission, her posture remained consistent. No counterstatement. No cryptic captions. No engagement with baited questions. This is not indifference, it is discipline. It is the decision to let a difficult transition be handled where it belongs, between the people living it, not on a stage designed for applause or jeers. Why is this noteworthy? Because public relationships are not just emotional bonds, they are also infrastructures. They touch contracts, calendars, brand partnerships, and entire production ecosystems. A messy breakup can become a logistical earthquake. Yet, in the days following the announcement, the dominant story among colleagues and crew was not chaos, it was professionalism. Sets ran on time. Promotional commitments were met. PR statements were brief and respectful. If there were storms, they were not turned into weather reports for strangers. That, too, is a form of care. Let's talk about the word at the center of this: unhappiness. In the public square, unhappiness is often treated like a court exhibit, as if it must be justified with evidence to satisfy a jury of onlookers. But in real life, unhappiness is not a charge, it is a condition. You can be surrounded by success and still feel hollow. You can have a calendar full of good news and a house full of silence. Sometimes, the bravest sentence is the one that doesn't try to explain itself to people who are not living your mornings and nights. By choosing to name the feeling, and only the feeling, Cenk took responsibility for his own threshold without drafting Mahessine into a narrative she did not choose. That choice shaped the fan response, too. Yes, the first wave was shock. The second wave was theory. But the third wave, the one worth listening to, was recognition. Comment sections filled with stories from viewers who had likewise reached a point where staying would mean shrinking. Others spoke about learning to leave without turning their partner into a villain. The thread was consistent: dignity travels further than drama. Whether you stand with Cenk, with Mahessine, or simply with the idea that two adults get to reorganize their lives without auditioning for our approval, the outcome is the same: less heat, more light. Industry watchers have pointed out another layer: the toll of sustained on-screen intimacy. When your job requires you to simulate closeness on cue, to cry convincingly at 3 a.m., to play tenderness after 10 hours, to keep chemistry alive while the boom pole dips into frame, it can bend your inner compass. Healthy partnerships survive that pressure with boundaries, debriefs, and honest check-ins. But the workload still accumulates. If the private center is already under strain, the professional intensity can magnify the cracks. That doesn't absolve anyone. It contextualizes the courage it takes to step away before the crack becomes a break. What does this mean for the work? Paradoxically, the same clarity that ends a marriage can safeguard a career. By refusing to turn this chapter into a spectacle, Mahessine and Cenk have protected future possibilities. Perhaps they will never share a set again. Perhaps they will, under new terms, precisely because they have navigated this moment like professionals rather than combatants. Casting directors notice that kind of steadiness. Producers trust it. Audiences respect it, even if the initial reaction is confusion. There is also a practical, human reality that rarely makes it into trending topics: the middle. Not the dramatic breakup or the sudden reconciliation, but the quiet months where each person relearns their own cadence. It looks like therapy sessions at odd hours, long walks, dinners with friends who don't ask for updates, and mornings where the silence feels less heavy than the night before. It looks like learning what you like again without consulting a second calendar. It looks like work that fits your current emotional bandwidth instead of demanding a version of you that no longer exists. If either of them goes quiet for a while, that is not a publicity strategy. It is called healing. Of course, the speculation machine will continue to offer alternate scripts. It will ask who wanted out first. It will hunt for timestamps and contradictions. It will insist that every unfollow is an insult and every uncaptioned photo a clue. You are free to opt out. You can decide that your admiration for Mahassin and Cenk does not require you to consume their private life like a serialized drama. You can let the art be the art and let the people be people. You can choose to value the paragraph they gave us over the chapters they chose not to publish. A word about language. In separation stories, headlines often smuggle in verdicts by changing the verbs. Confessed becomes admitted, which becomes exposed. None of those fit here. Cenk did not expose anything. He stated a boundary. Mahessine did not hide. She reserved her voice for the spaces that deserve it. Precision matters, because the words we use at the beginning of a story determine the path it must take. When we frame a boundary as a scandal, we force everyone to perform roles they did not audition for. So where do we go from here? From the outside, the healthiest answer is nowhere. Let them go where they need to go. If you follow them because you admire the craft, keep watching the craft. If you rooted for them because you saw in their work a mirror for your own hopes, keep those hopes, and adjust them to reality. Endings make room for other forms of grace. That's not spin. It is the logic of life. Before I close, I want to address those who feel disappointed, even a little betrayed, that a love they believed in didn't last. That feeling is real. It is also a testament to what Mahassin and Cenk built together on screen and off, a vision of connection strong enough that strangers wanted to believe in it. You were not foolish to believe. Belief is not the problem. Entitlement is. We are not owed an eternal story, we are invited to witness a human one. Sometimes it opens softly and ends with a sentence as simple and necessary as this: I am no longer happy, and I choose change. If you've made it this far, thank you for valuing a patient, respectful approach to a sensitive topic. If you want more breakdowns like this, where we privilege context over chaos, please subscribe, leave your thoughts below, and share this video with someone who prefers facts and nuance to rumor and noise. I read your comments, and many of you ask for coverage that treats public figures like real people. That's the promise of this channel, and I intend to keep it. Thank you for watching. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.